Okay, it's recording.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Miss Presley, and I'm the school principal. I appreciate you all attending today's IEP meeting. We're going to start by introducing ourselves and sharing our roles in the student's education. I believe we'll start with our special education teacher.
I'm Stephanie Ford, and I am the special education teacher.
I am Ashley Jolley. I am the general education teacher.
I'm Brittny Blaylock, and I'm the caseworker.
I'm Treesha Roston, and I am the foster parent.
Is that everybody?
Me. And I'm Jessica Simmons, and I'm the psychometrist.
The purpose of today's meeting is just to get together and review the assessment data and to discuss the progress for Marcus Jefferson. And we're going to determine some goals and services that we can apply to him, and we'll answer any questions and figure out what a good placement is for him. Is there any questions before we begin?
No, ma'am.
Okay. This meeting is confidential and protected by federal law, and our discussions will remain professional, and we will be respectful, and will remain focused on the student's best interests and the goals at hand. This meeting should take maybe no longer than about 30 minutes, and hopefully we can stay on task. So I'm going to turn it over to our special education teacher to address the assessment data that we have available.
Right. So Marcus is a very bright and energetic student. He's got an eye for design, and he is artistically talented. He finds joy in music and thrives with hands-on activities. He gets along well with others, and he has very strong verbal skills. So when it comes to the Woodcock-Johnson achievement test data, applied math problems, grade equivalent is a 1.5. His calculation grade equivalent is a 1.9. Math fluency addition is a 2.0. Fluency subtraction is a 1.8. Quantitative concept is a 2.3. Marcus's overall total math composite is a 1.9. His testing, he scored average in verbal comprehension and high average in visual spatial. Working index was low average, and processing speed is also low. Based on the assessment data, Marcus meets the eligibility requirements for special education services. So we would need to review the previous IEP, but we do not have one on file due to his inconsistency in schools. So we will just move on to the back of the IEP. All right.
So just some of the things that I've observed with Marcus in the classroom is that he's made progress as far as using some of graphic organizers and visual tools in math. So that way he can better verbally, understand what he's doing and can describe what he's doing using the graphic organizers.
Okay, and that's the concern that I had, is only how would you guys be able to meet his needs academically with math.
Absolutely. So I think one of the things that we can do is having specifically designed instruction with math problem solving to focus using, again, the graphic organizers, visual aids, and some multi-step directions. And we will be doing that daily when we have our math lessons, which is about 30 minutes every day. And that would take place in the general education classroom.
Okay.
Which everything that we would do for him right now would be in the general education classroom because he does well in the environment. So we don't want to pull him out unless it's needed. We would also provide him with maybe some preferred seating so that, if he's not comfortable in that one, in that one area, he's able to move and be where he is more comfortable so that he can learn better. With the math, also reducing some of the problem sets. So if, if the kids are assigned 10 problems, maybe reduce his down to 5 because he's also going to get extended time in that and doing his assignments. So he won't have as many problems, but he'll have more time to do those using his visual aids and graphic organizers.
Okay.
And then is there any concerns as far as assessments go?
It's no concern. I just would like to know, I heard you say he will be in a general classroom, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so we would keep him in the general education classroom. We would have we have paraprofessionals on hand here at this school, and so about 15 minutes every week we can have that paraprofessional come in and do a consultation on his behavior cues and prompting due to his transition. Sometimes he shuts down and doesn't want to do transition, so having the consultation with the paraprofessional weekly to kind of make sure that we are focusing on that transition with him and doing things, as well as then every quarter we could have our case manager and the special education teacher come in and check the data and things like that.
Okay. And you said that would be daily or just a couple of times out of the week?
So with the special education teacher, I think having her just come in quarterly because she focuses on all the students in the school. So having her come in quarterly just to make sure that he's getting, we're covering his IEP, making sure that we are getting him all the accommodations that we are discussing today. But then weekly, we can have that paraprofessional come in and sit with him in class and work with him and work on transitioning from, maybe doing one assignment to the next, or if we're coming in from recess and having to go back in to do math work, making sure that he is comfortable doing that.
Okay. Okay, that was all of my questions and concerns.
Okay, I guess being the caseworker on the team, do we feel like as a team that these accommodations fit Marcus? And are we going to be addressing how he interacts with his peers and other adults in the setting?
Yeah, so just some things that I've observed from him being in the classroom with him. He does really well with his peers, playing at recess, and in PE he does really well with his peers. It's really that transitioning. So his inattention, it manifests due to distraction, whether it's humming or he drums his fingers. Very low engagement and avoidance of strategy. So he'll he wants to draw and things like that because he's a very creative child. Again, with his difficulty with transitions, he may sigh and be like, okay, I don't want to do this, or he'll put his head down on the desk when we're asked to transition. So the task is often initiated when requiring verbal cues and encouragement to start to return to work. So if we've taken a little brain break or something and then we're like, hey, let's get started back on math, he may struggle with that transition back because he likes doing the fun things and then transitioning back into that at academic level. So I think the goal right now is set for May 20th, so the end of the school year, is for him to be following a whole group instruction with a transition cue. And he will initiate or return to his assigned seat from wandering, getting up, taking that break within 2 minutes and no more. So when he's verbally cued, just, okay, Marcus, let's get back to our math, that he has, we'll give him about 2 minutes to get back into his seat and start his work again.
I think that was my only concern, and I will make note of these.
Okay. Is there any other questions about general ed or behavior or anything like that we?
I think I'm good on my part.
Yeah, you have covered everything that I needed to know.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. We like to make sure that the student's taken care of, but the parents also feel comfortable and that their child is safe and getting the services that they need.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so it looks like we've got a good plan in place here, and we'll make the necessary notes and everything. Does anybody have any further questions before we wrap it up?
I know I don't from a caseworker standpoint. I'm not sure. Jessica, do you have anything that you need to add to the meeting before we close?
I really don't. The only thing I have to say is, of course, the accommodations are necessary given his processing speed and working memory deficits. So I think those work out great for him.
Absolutely.
Yes, in reviewing Marcus's testing data and his needs, he succeeds in the general education classroom with the supports that we're going to provide. So there's no indication that he requires a more restrictive placement.
Perfect. And he's always got the option, like if he needs that extra sensory moment or that extra brain break, he can always go to that special ed classroom and have that little moment, of silence by himself. But we want to keep him in that general ed classroom just to make sure that he's around those peers that he works so well with and to stay as normal as possible.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered everything. I don't see anything wrong with the plan that's going to be put in place. We will make sure everything's documented and get signatures on everything and have this sent out to everyone involved. And then if anybody has any questions or concerns later on, you're welcome to reach out.
Okay, and I just want to add that I really appreciate you guys working together with me as a team. Please let me know if it's anything that I could do to reinforce at home with him. Just let me know.
Perfect. Sounds good. We really appreciate working with him. And I think we're fully committed to supporting him. And this level of collaboration that we have is what really is going to benefit him in and outside of the classroom.
Okay, great.
All right. Thank you all for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's stop recording.